Ready to go.
We are okay.
All right. Here we are. We are live. And Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's been a while. Been here in the channel. Um, Let me introduce you first of all to Karen. I know Karen is a fellow twin flame, and um, just the journey connected her to me, and so on and so on. The reason I brought her today for it, it is like giving it kind of like an example of someone who's been in the journey for quite a while. Someone that has been in there for grinding it out and working on herself. And she's one of those examples that understanding the journey and how you can be on your own power as a twin flame, and how did that help her with self evolution in there. And as you know at the beginning, a lot of the people don't know, but when we were talking about the twin flames path, it was said that you should be okay with or without it. If they're married, you should let them go, and so on and so on. But talking about this, Karen has been a very good example of doing the inner work. She's very knowledgeable, and I brought her today here. So if you guys have some any questions, please ask. Just please don't blow the chat in there. And with that being said, I have here Victoria and hi Rich CF. Glad to see you, buddy. And everyone here, please, if you want to say hello, you can do it in the chat and so on. And with that being said, I'm going to give the mic to Karen so she can say a few words about her journey. She can share about her journey a little bit for you guys, and hopefully, her information is going to help you in your journey, is going to help you with this, and we're going to get with that. All right, guys. So, Karen, welcome here. Thank you
Yeah.
for being accepting the invitations to come to the channel. And yeah, just say something about your journey, about yourself, and let the people kind of like get to know you.
Well, I will. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I started this journey 6.5 years ago with, I call him John. And actually, I was thinking about the first meeting. It was, we were hypnotized by each other's voices. He was a colleague from another company. And we couldn't get rid of each other. And I didn't have a work phone, so we chatted via my private phone. And after the weekend, we said, okay, let's have coffee. And we see each other. We don't fall for each other. We laugh it off and let's get it over with. But when we saw each other, it was like a tsunami of energy. And I only remember we hold each other for the longest time to, now I know, for the energies to adjust. And we were trembling. And I think it took 15 minutes really that we could let each other go and say, okay, are we okay? What happened here? So immediately, in my case, everything started, the Kundalini, the heart awakening. Uh, and we didn't know. We started in the bubble of phase. And at one point, I knew I could only take this energy with him for 24 hours. And that's exactly what happened. We met in person, we had chatted all day long, but all the meetings were 24 hours and then it collapsed. And it should have been that way anyway. And he was married and wanted to stay married, so I accepted that really in the beginning on. Um, and as you all experienced, the bubble of phase is beautiful, and I wrote about this. It's also like meeting yourself in the most healed version of yourself. You didn't even I didn't know I existed. I was so happy, and that's the words in the bubble of phase for me was super inner joy, peace. I just smiled all day long, and my colleague said, "Karen, you lit up. You give light," and I couldn't help it, and I couldn't stop it. But after the energy was used, we got each other ignited. There was a solo journey to go, and of course, as all of you do, I resisted and I hated the journey, and I cried so many hours, and I never cried so much in my life, being mad and had tantrums and was really pissed off. So I needed, I know I needed to look up, and I stumbled upon a site about twin flames, and I thought the only thing I thought was somebody wrote my story. What is a twin flame? Because I don't want to be a twin flame. I just want this person back. That was my first reaction. But looking up, I soon found Dio, Lindy, and Mel, and I decided these guys know what they're talking about. These are really understanding this twin journey. And I was in several groups, and there was a lot of complaining about runner, chaser, a narcissist, a karmic, and a lot of blaming. And we asked, well, how long are you in this process? And they said, well, 2, 5, 12 years. And I thought, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just accept the reality. It's my journey, so I better study it. So listening to videos, I decided, okay, Carin, this is a sort of university you stepped in and you can get out. So do what you're good at, use your brain and logic. Because if you have that much pain that I don't want to live anymore, and he didn't want to live anymore. So we helped each other through that phase to say, no, we're not going to die. That's not the use of this meeting, of the purpose. So I made a plan. And so I did studies at academy, mindfulness coach, mindfulness trainer, tantric vision, intervision group. So I studied myself. I understood one thing of this pain. I had to understand myself in order to heal. And during those years, we are still connected. I also realized he's not going to be the twin. I'm going to be in union with as a couple, a physical couple, like Leo. But we do have, we do still work together. We are perfectly capable of reading each other's soul contract, for instance, and say you have to do look into this and look into that, and so there is a connection still. Um, so that's how I did it. Understanding the journey was for me. And I rejected Mel's video, The Evolution of You. Are you humble? And I really thought, oh, are you humble? Oh, are you humble? Oh, yeah, Mel, I'm so humble. I didn't ask for this. I just, it went into my life. How humble I am. And I was really in that cynical phase, but I listened also to myself and said, this is not you. You can make black white. You can make dark shine. Use the power within you. You have been this Carin, and I understood this is a part of me, so I have to reinvent myself, and letting go of a lot of things. So the last thing I'm going to say, and then give the word to you, is, and we sometimes we argue about this. It's the Kundalini, it's the heart awakening, it's a new world breaking down old belief systems, old defense mechanisms, old survival mechanism, old patterns, everything. But we also start the process of grief, deep grief, the deepest grief we ever felt about when this connection is done. And a lot of what you describe, and it is really about the first stage of the first thing you have to do in grief is accept the reality of the loss. And here it goes not wrong, I would say, because that's not nicely said, but we don't accept the reality. And I know why, because the other one is still alive. There is a possibility we can get him or her back. So what we do, we go to semi-twin coaches or other person, they say, how you get your twin back? But they didn't understand the journey. It's been given to you. This is another journey for your development, and it's not easy. I can say that immediately. Even after meeting other twins, I'm from the new concept, so we can debate about that, but please not here. Another time. It's still not easy, but it becomes easier. So I give the word back to you.
Yeah, you sent me back in time when we started doing the channel. I started doing the channel, and we were at the same time like Mel, Lindy, kind of like Wolf
I missed Ulf, by
popped
the
out.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, we all popped out at the same time. There was not many of the people back then, and
No.
I gotta admit, I didn't like some of the stuff that Mel was talking about because I was more in my feminine energies, like. Man, this is talking about like a colonel, and I ever since then I call him the colonel. Like he's the colonel in the army, with his masculine energy that it was coming in. But later on in the journey, I know I was saying like you, I begin to understand it that he was talking about, Unit was talking about this Kundalini awakening. But before the Kundalini awakening, I made the investigation there, and what happens is during the gravity and the energy between the two people, the energy exchange is like electrifying. And when that's electrifying, it's firing this, what it's called in the brain. There is a mirroring neuron, which just helps you to get it in there. And this is basically like those two cell phones when they come next to each other and you just push the button and they exchange files. That's what happens. You exchange consciousness with that person, and then the mirror neuron have that consciousness within you. And this is why that the energy of the twin flame is always with you, but within and this is what is awakening for it. And I got another question for you because a lot of the people they're talking about the grief, and really, I went through a lot of grief. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been there for it. And grief for some of you guys in there, that is a energy of process that needs to, but it has no place to go. Usually, they are connecting the grief with the love, with the loss, and so on and so on. But it's an energy that has no place to go. And accepting the reality in there helps you actually, when you overcome the grief, you're finding the part for yourself to rise up again, to love again. And um, so, can you like kind of a few words or describe like how did you overcome that grief? How did you rise up and find that inner power within yourself as a the strong soul that went
Yeah.
in and did everything in there. So the people will know about it.
Well, there were two parts. The deepest grief, I wasn't actually planning my death. He was. So that woke me up. But I wouldn't mind if I was, you know, if I would hit a truck. And that woke me up because I had, how do you say that? In my life, things went pretty, wild. And I thank my positive character. So I survived many things. Um, and then I was in the car driving full speed. I said, Carin, think of one force stronger than letting go. And I'm a mother, and I thought and said, I'm a mother. That's my biggest force. That's stronger than everything else. So that one survived me at that time. Um, and the other one was when I, of course, in my tantrum said, "Oh, you only want sexual contact," and blah blah blah. And when we know we were twin flames, he admitted. I sent him texts and videos. I said, "Do you recognize this, or is it in my mind?" He said, "No, I recognize everything." But even then, I had this tantrum and said, "Oh, you stupid," and blah blah. And then he stood up, and I posted it on your site, the roar of the lion. He
Mm-hmm.
stood up in his energy, and this man is very pragmatic. He has nothing with spirituality at all, and he described the journey in essence. And at that moment, I woke up and thought, I, arrogant person, thought I was his teacher, but he's my teacher. I'm the student here. And that woke me up, and that gave me such a force that only because he stand his ground, I could do what I needed to do. He told me, Carin, I only came here this lifetime at the right moment. we have to fulfill a task, not together, but we have to grow, and you have to grow. He told me in not in a dream state, but in real lifetime as well. So then it humbled me, and I decided I'd never have that tantrum again. I accept the reality of the loss, and I accepted the reality of the gift that was given to me to become freed from all these old patterns and becoming who I am, found my soul's mission. Um, so I had a lot of things to clear. Um,
Oh, we know about that.
and I,
That
yeah, and I'm really grateful that I, instead of blaming him and shaming, and that I really honored him in his role of this period, or this experience. I mean, sorry. Um, I saw him as my teacher. He still is teaching me as I'm teaching him, and then the battle stopped, the tantrum stopped, and then I made a plan and I could breathe again. I say, okay, universe, I think I was drunk when I signed my contract, but since I've signed it, I'm gonna do it. And I committed to the universe as well. With love and hate, I try to bypass the universe as we all do, because this process is like a university and it takes like 3 to 6 years to adjust, do your inner work step by step. You don't have to do it in a certain order, but just you have to do certain things to ground yourself, to cleanse yourself, and to heal yourself. So I allowed myself to give myself time and say, Carin, every step you take is a good one. So I talked to myself like, you can do this. See how many steps you've taken. You don't have to do it all at once, which I wanted because I thought I can do it in 6 months. You can't. It's not possible. I know you cheated to the universe, but we can't. And so that gave me, and the other ones that after 10 years still blaming the other ones, still in grief, that woke me up as well. I thought that's such a waste of my time if I'm stuck in that process, because it's my learning time, it's my learning opportunity, and I'm not going to give it away by grieving. And did I grieve during the first years from time to time? Yeah, yeah, of course. Now, no, that's done. But sometimes you fall back and you say, oh, I just want him around me. Maybe we were giving you another chance in life. And I thought, Kevin, stop this, go back to reality, go back to
yeah,
reality.
what happens is this is the process of this or what you describe, the first awakening in there that it happened right at the beginning. Oh my God, I was in grief for about 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah, it's a
It
deep
took
grief.
me a while till I was just in those back in the days. We're talking about 10, 12 years ago or something. In there, talking about that I was in this. Back in the days, there was only a closed group. There was no open groups. Information for Twin Flames was only like a few people knew about it. There was only when I was there, there was only a few people that I could have talked, I could have contact in there. And yes, the grief was and it helps you. The soul well helps you to overcome that grief of that. But when you go back into the reality, your understanding, and when you begin to understanding, there is this one moment in there that it happens is that even if you're a single twin, and I talked about this years ago, there is a video
Yeah,
here in the channel. Talk about it that you need to learn and be on your own power, standing because you're your own twin. They are in this evolutionary. So either with or without, you can do the mission on your own, which is harder. But a lot of the people have this really within the energies of like I have to, I must do, I need to be. What was your personal fire that helped you, you to standing on your own power as a twin flame. What was that driven force in you? Kind of like what is the process that come to you that you just I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
work on me. I'm gonna get it in there. What was that?
actually the pain of the grief and the will of losing, of the will of first time I felt I'm letting go of life. And I thought Karen, think again. I actively use my brain actively. This is not why you were born. You never have, you have been through so many challenges in life and you overcome so many things. So you will overcome and let the universe surprise you. And handed it over to the universe helped me as well. But the pain I felt really was a kickstart to make it into a positive start for myself, for my journey, instead of getting in my lazy chair and grieving, which I did. But what I did with grief, I can tell you, I said grief is okay. It's part of the journey. I understood. I understood. I can do it in the morning for 15 minutes and in the evening for 15 minutes, and that's it, Karen. That's it. So you sit with it, you allow it, you release it, you feel it, do what you did, but not longer than that. So in that grief, I accepted it. I didn't throw it, push it away, but I allowed it to be there certain moments during the day. And the rest of the day, I said, okay, you better get started, Karen. And Mel's video and your video and Lindy's video, there are more than one. Dio, that got me really kick-started. I said, no, I hardly survived this roller coaster. There's not going to be anyone else. I'm going to do this. So that really was an eye-opener for me. And of
Mm,
course, there were others. But at that time, I thought, I'm not able to handle this, to do it again. And I realized the universe um, has given me this beautiful opportunity. I better explore now because they will give it back to me. I understood that.
mm-hmm.
So that's what really kickstarted me. And uh, in a way, I became curious. Well, who is this Karen inside me then? Why was that Karen so joyful? So I felt like the sun inside of me. And I was really homesick to that feeling. So that also got me started. I was wondering and looking in the mirror. I really did this exercise. Where are you? How do I come in touch with you again? Um, so I was, you know, how do you say that? Curious to myself. Um, and also sad because where has she gone? She's gone now. Well, now she's back, but at that moment not. So a lot of things really kickstarted me, but it's also making an active decision in your head. Um, since this has been given to me, I better study and myself and learn about myself. Why am I so codependent to that feeling again? Why do I need love from outside in instead of from inside out? Um, so that's why I studied on the academy, because you can read a book, but no one is going to ask you a question. And if you really study, someone's going to ask you questions. You have to think about it. So I was curious also.
Yeah. All right. I gotta say hi. Hi Anita. Hi Paulina. Hi Darling.
Oh,
Uh,
Anita.
Queen of Hearts. Thank you for coming in. Hi Christine. Hi Casablanca. Thank you. Hi Luke. Glad to see you here. And Paulina, I have a question. Are you still in a 5D communication with your first twin, or getting synchronities? Many people getting confused.
Um, we both experienced the 5D experience. We talked about it. We see each other twice a year. We do a sort of evaluation. And he said, it's lovely there. I said, I know. But for me, there's no point of staying there because I have a job to do, my inner work. Yeah, we have access. But actually, there's another part of this journey as well. I'm in 5D, but I'm basically on other Ds. You know the Ds, and then you don't need to have access to the Ds. In the 5D, I can tell you how I see it. You experience this bubble of love, of connecting in light, in love energy and sexual energy and creative energy. It's not only, I hear people say, oh, we have this great sex in 5D, but that's not exactly everything. There are a lot of energies, and the field is beautiful. You can create in colors, and it's like liquid energy, and it's glowing, and it's firework. You can be anything you want, any shape or form. So we had play there, but with all energies. Yeah, it's beautiful
As
to
the
watch.
male said, this is our room. He was talking about this. It's like I just let her comes in for a 15 minutes a day until she gets her stuff, and that's it. That's her
Yeah,
time on a
yeah.
5D. Okay.
But so yeah, we can meet in 5D, but for me, the better thing is we came in balance in this lifetime with each other. We are not in a union as you and Paulina are, but we have this perfect balance. So we don't even need the physical contact except for a hug if we see each other.
Mm-hmm.
He understands now all I want to be is melting the energy field here on 3D, and the same process happens. We have to adjust the energies and say, okay, we're gonna have lunch and coffee. So that changed, and for me, the 5D is beautiful, but I'm also very practical. So I said, well, I'm not supposed to do this all the time, do I? There's more to it. So I moved on to another academy or university and learning my stuff there. So I
Mm.
do have access to and with others, but it's more like been there, done that. So what's next?
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds a bit practical, but that's also a part of my mind. It's very
Yeah, this
practical.
is what I've been keep telling the people that when you have a 5D connection with the person you're connecting with, and there, you're thinking about the person and whatever you're thinking about that, and trying to get the phone. That's how the soul connections are working.
But
You're
we
trying
still
to
have that.
text the person, you're just receiving a text of the same thing.
Yeah,
Here it is. That's how it works. And if you have the 5D connections, guys, just please, let's keep this in mind in here. Uh, the
do,
3D is
yeah,
gonna confirm the 5D, and there, and there is a lot of cases of this in there. Um, now, uh, that power inside of you brought you, and we got connected and so on. But you are in this path of self-evolving twin flame unit on in the path of the ascension is in there. Can you like kind of brief your words for it? Um, kind of like a
me and brief.
give give it like a guidance to some of the people, or kind of like a share a little bit about it, because most of the people they're clinched to this. There's only one twin flame. There is I cannot do it on my own. I cannot evolve on my own. They still have it in this. It's kind of like a this great power that you have is a
Okay,
single unit in action and study and going forward.
and having that. So I'm going to add some information to it. First, the 5D. If you are able, you get access to the 5D energy, but also it's bypassing the journey if you're getting stuck there. You have to perform it on Earth. And the reality on Earth is you're not connected in most of the times. I'm lucky. So that's that. Yeah, I'm going to share. I was born with medium and paranormal skills, so my life was always different. So I'm very used of conversations with kites and schools upstairs. We call it the dream state. So maybe I'm a bit advanced in um, making those connections and being and getting the guidance from all different kinds. So maybe that helps. Um, but it was more like I put it backwards. The university I'm in, I like now because I like to call it a university. And they explained it to me beautifully. They said, Karen, it's really simple. We have to raise the frequency on Earth. In order to do that, we have to raise the frequency in ourselves. In order to do that, we have to go to our learnings. And in order to do that, you get access to the twin flame energy. I'm going from up down here. In order to get access to the twin flame energy, we give you the experience of twin flame energy. That's it. On that level where I'm schooled now, there are no twins. Everybody is in union with him or herself and with each other. And the way they exchange their energy fields, their knowledge, their feelings to balance each other out, that goes via, um, it's like their energy hugs and they stay connected until it's balanced and the other one remembers and knows and then they disconnect. But in that field, there are no twins anymore. So it changed my perspective drastically. Um, but there are twins, and the twins are like a tool to get you ignited in this um, raising of frequency. But that's what we're doing. We raise the frequency on Earth when we raise the frequency in ourselves, and and for that we have to do the inner path. So
Oh boy, we know that.
that's
Personally, we know
simplified
that.
said. But you must be you become the frequency. You have to adjust. I stayed a week at home. I really had to adjust to that energy. But you have to realize that with every word you speak, with everything you touch with your hands, every step you take on earth, you raise frequency. And it's accessible to everybody. We're not special anymore. And I think a lot of people get stuck in I'm the special chosen one twin flame. I remember that when I was born medium, when I was 13, 14, then it was like a really special. I was worshipped, I can tell you. I was really qualified in all these skills. But I said, I don't want that, just get rid of it. So, but that belief system changed as well because then in the 70s, I was really, I was sent from heaven. I've heard it all. I was gifted. I'm the only one, the youngest child. And I knew my heart awareness knew that's not true. And nowadays, this energy of mediumship is accessible to all. And that's happened the same with twin flames. So the first shift, they were special. They had this magnificent task to get it grounded on Earth as there are twin flames. We had to get used to that idea that so there were a special group, and there still are special groups in there, but it's accessible to all of us. And but there's only one way, and it's looking inwards and found the joy and the knowledge in you. You have to remember we were born with a hard brain. And in that brain is stored every question or every answer to any question you have. It's already in you. So we're learning now how to get access to that center point.
Yeah. You return me
That's part
back.
of the ascension. Yeah.
Yeah, you return me back into this point that the purpose of this ignition is back in the days we're talking about 10, 12 years
Yeah.
ago. For it, that was it to blow up this energy of the twin flame because we had so much power back then. A lot of the
Yeah.
people is like, where you guys is your power is? We give that power to the world, to the others. We were basically like this enormous catalyst out there. If you have to put Lindy, me, or Wolf, or Sherry and Leah, you know, we empowered that grid. I was talking about the grid back
Yeah.
then. Now that energy, that grid that was built back then, that twin flame energy is available to everybody, and this is what comes in, and that's what you are talking about up here. Now we are in this very beautiful path of putting the wisdom with understanding that leads to ascension. Isn't there a little bit it in this? um, kind of like go with a few words in there to explain how that feels. So the people who are in the journey that they've been working on it, how they can go in there, how they can see these energies of ascension. For it, I know through our conversations with you, you know, yeah, uh, you know what I'm talking about. But just before that, I want to say hi, Twin
You,
Flame Power. Hi, Erica.
yeah,
Hi, Carol. But by the way, guys, for those who's watching right now, if you have any questions,
yeah,
please ask now because in the next 20 minutes, that's what we have with Carin for it. And please ask if there is no questions, that it's okay. All right, no push and no rush in there. And here we go, Carin. The mic is yours.
yeah. Oh, I'm listening. I forgot the question. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. You have a question. All right, let's go.
Well, I can, you know, um, this process of healing. I think we talked about this. It's a layered process. When the first ignition started, and in the first 3 months afterwards, when you do your inner journey, you can't heal everything at once. So it's layered. So you have to give yourself space and time, and study, and accept the fact you cannot heal everything at once. It layers. And when I look back, like John, he brought me home to my heart awareness. He really opened that up, and that was beautiful. And he's still, when I think of him, it's still the biggest smile from within. And I learned to put that love, for him, with him, connected with him. First, I boxed it up, wrapped it around, put it in my heart in a closet, and so it's there, but it's not be seen. And I learned during the process that you can just let it shine like a sun in your heart. And then I became peaceful and blissful. I accepted the gift that was given.
Mhm. Would you
Um,
say that? Would you say that he gave you the love that you didn't give to yourself?
yeah, yeah. And I talked him through because he battled with the same thing. And I taught him, listen, you have so many loves in your heart for your wife, for your children, for your family, for your friends. I'm going to teach you how I fit in. You don't have to push me away. So once we balance that out, that the connection is there and for us shown, it really was, that was our turning point. Then we could get back into a normal contact again, because we did have several months we couldn't handle the energy, so we have to do the inner work and then go back. So that's one. But give yourself time, and be so proud of yourself. Every step you take, be proud, even if it's hard. You might not like the book, but once you learned the lesson, you are grateful and humble, and you learn that the next book, who is also giving you headaches and heartaches, you will understand, okay, I have to go through this, because in the end there's this beautiful lesson, and that's the lesson transcends you to the next energy of awareness. And I remember he's listening, my space brother, I'm not going to say his name. 4 years ago, we came in this state, we did some things together, and we have different downloads, as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm in this blissful, peaceful state. I don't know what happened, but I think we cracked the code. We've done it. We've done this. We've done it this lifetime. We don't have to do anything else. Well, we did, but we didn't know at the time. And we were so peaceful. And we said, that there's nothing that's going to hurt us now. Nothing is going to, rock our boat or that. But that was exactly the inner bliss we felt in the first ignition, in that bubble. But then for ourselves from within,
Mm-hmm.
we became that energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course other schools follow. So you have to do it again. And my second twin, let's call him Jack, that was in December. He brought me back to my soul's mission, and the lesson was as hard as the first twin. But I knew this time, Carin, you can do it in such a shorter time because you understand the concept and the principle. And what needs to be done. But the grief was as painful and the hurt was as painful, but shorter. And then I decided to call Dio. What's going on here? And you really helped me. We I did a lot of counseling with you from time to time because all these uploads were confusing. And I say, what's happening? I have all these downloads and nobody's talking. And
Yeah.
we get into other energy fields. And how often did I write you? Do you recognize this? Do you recognize this? And you were, yep, yep. And so you were such a good guidance for me but I had to do the work. It was not like you had the magical stick.
That's why you're here.
Yeah,
See,
you
I
that.
brought you up here because when you come to me for all this counseling and all this situations and what it was and so on, and our talk and consultations and the guidance that I gave you, so on. Not to put
Yeah,
myself out there, but you brought it in. But um, here is the person, as Mel was talking about, graduate. You see, you graduate when you unified yourself from within, and your energy is out here to show up the people as an example. Because this is what we do as a twin flames. That's what we are doing here. We are examples for the community. Whoever's gonna take that example, whoever sees that example, that it's for them. We're not judges here anymore. We are not a policeman to monitoring what other people or what other informations about twin flames is out there in the big bad world. Okay, we're here to give this personal examples, and I'm so happy that throughout this you were able to not only to pick yourself up, not only you to fix the issues that it comes in and so on, you are able to understand yourself. And when you worked on yourself,
yeah,
that energy that it comes in right now within yourself, you begin to be on this path of get yourself up higher and beginning to understand the energies of wisdom, uh, standing awareness, self awareness with self development, which is right now, that is about the path of the ascension is
yeah.
here. And this is why I brought you here today. For Can you explain a little bit how that feels within you right now when you unified yourself?
It feels like home. No, it's actually a good feeling. And we talked about being a twin who decided to do the mission on her own.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's not true. John is still a part of me. Jack is still a part of me. Um, but I became the one responsible for giving it form on Earth. So I'm going to do another study. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's listening, but it's also acting. It's not only listening. It's really like you get this download, you read something, or you hear a video that gets you kickstarted. Like, oh, maybe I have to look up. I have to look up to myself again. And how many times I said, but I've done the inner healing. I've done it. I, I've done it. What else do you want me to do? Um, so, for instance, first you pick the the moments you remember, and in your lifetime, and then you pick later on. You learn to see the patterns, and you're gonna understand if you heal the patterns. That's what gets you grounded. So you it's also I like to understand things for that they have a purpose as well. But I do the things as well. So I do go active in meditation and pick a subject and just pay attention to it and look really to myself and say, Carin, don't be arrogant here. Look again. And I must say, Mel Brandt, he's of course deceased, but he's been a spiritual teacher after he died very quickly. He said, I'll go back to you. He was 10 days dead. I said, well, I'd rather not, Mel. I'd rather not. But he helped me through this. And what he does, he when I'm on my phone just playing a game, and he pops up videos, and he says, here, here, here. listen. And I thought, but I've listened to that. He said, no, listen again. You will hear, you will see it different now. And it does. So I get a lot of help, but I'm acting on it. I'm listening to it and I'm studying it. And the biggest thing still is when I have a trigger, I don't like that information. Okay, Karen, listen to it again until you understand.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not, there's a trigger with a purpose.
Yeah.
So I learned that whenever something triggers me, I better listen again and again.
Yeah, exactly. I remember when he came, you said, "I don't like this country." I won't mention the country, and I said, "I don't
Egypt.
like
I
that."
hated Egypt.
I'm like, "Okay, let's see. What are you trying to run it away from?"
I
We went.
cursed. Yeah, I cursed a lot there. Yeah, but I reversed it and cleansed it. So they told me how to do it. And I was wise enough. I said, did I have any other lifetimes I cursed? I said, oh yeah. I said, okay, can we do them all together? Yeah. Okay, you recognize the pattern then? Yeah. Okay, then we can clean.
That healing of
Yeah.
you understanding that
Yeah.
when you don't like something,
I better do it.
that's that's what you have to go there to see why you don't like it. And then it's like, oh my god, it was part of my fears, it's part of repetitions and so on. All right, Paulina, I have comments here.
Okay.
Thank you, darling, for the comments. You have to do the work indeed. The current TF paradigm tries to keep the people in a passive surrender mode instead of taking accountability for the journey. You are perfectly capable to go on and evolve on your own.
It
Yeah.
is. But I'm not on my own. I met so many people now that join in my journey of my practice, trauma, grief, and loss, for instance. Um, they just we combine our qualities and energy. So once you transcend in this other state of, how do you say that, awareness? Let's keep it simple. I'm not on my own. I do it with others, but not in a union as in a twin union. But I do work together, and we do exactly the same thing. What do you know? What do I know? And combine energies.
Mm-hmm.
Really, so it's a solo journey. Actually, it's a human journey, and I think that's a good feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what I'm saying is that basically what Paulina wants to say is like in your own, but not like in a physical union, but you have the powers you to do it within your own.
Yeah,
Twin flame power. Any comments on the twin flame and the addictions to cope and resist the pain on the journey?
I read it with you.
It's the very last one.
No, you don't resist the pain. You embrace the pain. The brain is your teacher. The pain is your teacher. So we have a lot of coping mechanisms to put that pain away under the table in the closet. You know, everything we don't want to see it, but actually it's your teacher. And that's what I said. When something triggers me, I better do it again. And when I was afraid of many things in my life since I was young. I work with drug addicts, homeless people, and I thought, I don't want to do that. I better do it. And I did it. I had the most beautiful time of my life. I'm a social worker and a group worker all my life. So I
Mm-hmm.
work with a lot of people in the field as well. And so I learned when I'm afraid, when I want to push it away, I better do it. And the more you do it, the more you see the result. It's like this book. You might not like the content, but the lesson is beautiful. And once you experience that full process of being aware and you know and sit with it, but don't become it. It's learn. It's really it's your teacher. Like I said, John is really my teacher, and I'm humble, and so that's a choice I made, a choice from my heart awareness that I said, no, I'm not blaming him or shaming him. He's the best teacher I could ever had this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
Um, but he's grateful for me. So
Yeah, I was
yeah,
making a lot of the videos and guiding the people, even with Paulina when we got together. we're looking within the pain, even when the things are not comfortable to talk about it. Either if we're going within the pain, we know that within the pain there is the answer is in there. Personal advice in there, guys, dive within the pain in there. Here's a perfect example is Carin, that she understands that and she does this inner work. Now, since we have like 7 minutes left, Carin,
Yeah,
can you kind of like give some kind of like encouragement to the other people, or kind of like give a like a short tips or
more to,
inspiration or something so the people can be within in there. Twin Flame Power asking what TF the other twin is using addiction. Uh,
addiction. Well, actually, it's not. This sounds really harsh, maybe, but it's none of your business. That's his choice. So we have to realize that we cannot dictate what another one person should or shouldn't do in his life, because the other one can also dictate what I should or shouldn't do in life. So in that case, we have to let each other go, because the result is the energies don't work. And if you want to evolve in your inner journey, you have to let go of the energies who don't work at that moment. It doesn't mean it's not your twin. It doesn't mean you don't not stay connected, but the energy field, the frequency is not okay for you to grow. And we have this empathic complex, the wounded healers. We want to heal because we know how to heal. We know how to heal ourselves. We have the ability and the strength to do it with others. And my daughter said, Mama, you're so full of compassion and empathic being. You give people like 40 chances, but three is enough. So I learned from my daughters that they said, Mama, it's really enough. So you have to really look up into this pattern in yourself. Why am I trying to help people which don't want to be helped? Wake up. That's it. It's also step back into reality and accept the fact that this is it. The other one doesn't want your help because he has another journey. And we saw this beautiful big bubble. So we don't want that other person to go in the other journey. We want that bubble back. But we were not healed in the first ignition. We were wounded. So both needs time and space to do it on our own. How do you say that? Speed, our own time. Um,
it's a self alignment within the divine energies, and
yeah,
because they
yeah, we
got
have
you,
to
know,
let it go.
they're telling you, and if you're persisting and so on, then they keep remind you and so on and there until you let it go. The moment you let it go, um, here is that I was reminded about because most of people don't know, but in about 30 years ago, I was selling books. I was selling books for astrology,
Oh
homeopathic,
yeah.
and all the occultic things you can think of in there. And I was guiding people, and I was doing Reiki and guidance back then. That was back in Bulgaria. But I was reminded about two books, and those books they are from one great actress. Her name is Shirley MacLaine. So in her two books, which is the one it's Dancing in the Light and the other is Dancing in the Dark, she's talking about her soul connections in there, and there is not only one soul connections that you can get it from within, and thanks to John and Jack, you were able to evolve as a
And more, but these are the two most important.
yeah, I know, like because I went through quite a few soul connections myself and so on,
Yeah.
but they helped me to move into the journey. Even right now with Paulina, we're talking about this energies for it, and more is about the ascensions, but experiencing this as a male set, this evolutions as a twin flame. Uh, so um, uh, I want to give you the mic for the last encouragement to the guys if you want, and so on.
Yeah.
And
But
it's up to you.
oh, last. But I just go back to the addiction. I work with drug addicts, and my husband was addicted to a lot of lifestyles. Let's say that. If they don't want to change, they don't want to change. Then the only part you have power on is yourself and your response to that person. And the second stage of grief, I can tell you that is give your life form after the loss. And the third one is allow yourself to be happy with that other person again. And the fourth one is taking back your power. So these four stages of grief, you can look it up. They are helpful. But my experience in the job, in my work, is if somebody doesn't want help, you can have all the knowledge and all the wisdom. They don't hear it and don't spend your energy on it. And accept and respect. That's what I want to say. Respect the other one's choice. So take a step back to give that other one space as well, because the heart awareness is about compassion. And um, sometimes I miss this in this whole process of being a twin flame and soulmates and things. One is more than the other. It's not. They're all connected to you and all connected to source. So there is no hierarchy. It's not the one is better or the other one is fake, or no. They all have their purpose, but we call them that names because we don't like the lessons. No, we don't like the last book, the books we like. So we want other books. Yeah, I wanted other books in my life as well. But this is what is been given. So I work also what is given to me instead of looking what I want them to give me.
Yeah.
Because that answers what I really want. I need to find from within me. Um, and I'm not dependent on somebody else who says which is very oh, Karen, so now you're aligned. No, I have to do the work. I have to, and so in order to do the work, I have to go through the pain because the pain is teaching me and telling me. And do I like the process? No. Is it painful? Yes, it is painful. And do I get tired from time to time? Yes. But every time I think, Karen, you did it before, so you can do it again. And um, and I do set boundaries because nighttime is I said in the human world, nighttime is meant for sleeping, not for downloads and waking me up at 2 o'clock. I have this beautiful video. I said, I'll go away, or who else? So it's also setting boundaries for yourself. It's really an inner journey to explore who you are with your powers, I guess, and your failures and your tricks and the things I did certain things many times wrong, and I thought, okay, Aaron, think why can't you do it right? This is the fifth time I have to do it, and okay, and then I said, okay, I did this 5 times, I have to do it different, but how? I don't care how, just do it different, but don't make the same mistake again. And Dio knows I just fall in the trap, and I said, "Oh God, Dio, I just did it again. I have to do it again." So have compassion with yourself in the process. Love yourself the way you are right now today, and it's just a process. It's just step by step, but honor every step you make. Buy a cake for yourself if you really learned the lesson. Celebrate. I do that. And I mean, I really buy a cake sometimes. And they said, Karen, I understand this lesson. I finally got it. And I celebrate my life. And I celebrate the things I need to learn over and over again, or new things. It's an ongoing process and it doesn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
So be compassionate with yourself, be empathic with yourself as well. And stay away from sites that are telling not good information about twin flames because they catch you in the loop back in the ecosystem. Um, Stay away from that. They promise you they come back. That is bullshit. I'm sorry for the word, but it's not about that. You
Yeah.
can come back and you will come back, but you don't know with who.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the great recommendations for the people, advices and tips. When you say go buy your cake, that was just
I
like
do that.
this.
Or,
For it. Oh,
or
I remember back in the days when I was by myself. I was like, okay, Mr. Dio, what are you gonna do? Why just not go take a shower, shave yourself, go put your nice perfume, go put
yeah,
your shirt, go put your pants, nice shoes. You have a back then a nice car, and I went out there. I took myself out on a day,
yeah,
on a date. That's what this is, and there, and this is what is the learning of learning to love yourself. And right now I'm gonna have a few comments up here.
okay,
Victoria said that my twin flame and I are both married. I want to stay married and want to stay married to our current spouses, but we haven't been able to find balances yet. It is a
yeah,
good to see examples like you because it shows that it's possible. Thank you. Give you a heart and namaste. Jesse de Santiago, welcome here. I found my twin flame 2 years ago, almost, and we got back and forth. It is so awful, but it's wonderful.
yeah,
This is a one of the journey has to comes in and talking about the balance. We're gonna be talking more about the balance, and for it in the future, I'm gonna bring some Karen again up here. First of all, my congratulations to you because you evolve in that. We
thank
worked
you.
so hard in there,
With this guy's help, I did.
but here is the process of a person who decided wants to graduate, learned what it is, came in and says like Dio, seems like you guys know about these graduations that Mel's talking about, what that is. And I told you, you have to work on you. I can tell you, I can show you the road, but I cannot walk you. I'm not, no. So you
No,
did your inner work. You have a great energy, great advices, great positions. Congratulations to
thank
the
you.
inner work that you did. And out of bottom of my heart and the people who's watching from the channel, would like to say thank you. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your energies so much, and hopefully, for the great future for all of us, for benefits in there for the community. Guys, I'm gonna be bringing some more people into this, and it's gonna have some more talk because I know you guys probably tired of watching Dio solo, but there is some more information, so I'm gonna give you when the time comes in. But I want to say thank you guys. Thank you for watching, supporting, and appreciate you. Be love, guys, and whatever. Right now, it's your turn to say and address the community out there for you, Karen, and
Namaste.
I
Thank you so
appreciate
much
it.
for your time and watching and questions. I hope I answered them all. If not, pass them to Dio.
All right, guys. Be love, guys. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, and we'll see you again.
And thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, you're welcome. You deserve it because that was it. You you earn it, okay? You earn it. All right,
I did
that's
it. I'm
what
gonna
it's
buy
all.
a cake.
All right, yeah. All right, okay. Deal up, guys.
You
Bye
love. Bye
bye.
bye.